Earth is but one country and mankind its citizens. The Grand World Peace Prayer reiterates this belief among children.
World unity requires of us to pay attention to nature's ability to cooperate and accommodate, opening our hearts and minds to the idea of transforming our political boundaries into opportunities for mutual exchange and greater harmony will allow us to follow nature's way and secure that kind of lasting peace. World unity beckons. World peace is at our door. If only we learn from nature and pay heed to the calls of yore.
I represent the countries of the world. I affirm the intention to practice goodwill in our relations, in our daily affairs, and in our attitude towards those of other nations, race, religion, and social background. I intend to play my part in the building of new city for humanity with love that is non-critical and that is for the good of the whole. With this, I intend to bring unity and peace in the world.
Let us celebrate the diversity of our wealth and strive to learn from each other and help one another in a spirit of openness, understanding, trust, and respect. May the people of Brazil remain in communion with the world. May there be peace and unity on earth.
The divine source of all is unified in all aspects of being. In the evolution of life in the universe, we rediscover that inherent unity. It expresses through ever greater levels of world unity. In terms of nations, we can say that the world is moving towards world unity, all the while embracing the full rich diversity of every member nation. May the people of Sri Lanka adopt world unity. May there be peace and unity on earth.
We, the people of Mauritius, members of the earth, members of one global family, declare our unity and seek to honor it by establishing world peace and unity to celebrate the diverse culture of humanity. May there be peace and unity in Mauritius. May there be peace and unity on earth.
We declare our allegiance to the race of men. We believe in the potential of good in all men. We believe that the heart of humanity is sound. We believe that men can live together with the right relations and at peace. We believe in the potential of goodwill to create justice, peace, and progress in all the countries. May there be unity and peace in the world. May there be unity and peace in the world. May there be unity and peace in the world.
May unity prevail. May unity prevail. May unity prevail on
With a smile on every face, happiness all around, brotherhood will be found. So make a sincere prayer.
May unity prevail. May unity prevail. May unity prevail on earth.
Bombay, Cape May, Mandalay, Baffin Bay, Baghdad, Leningrad, Ashgabat, Trinidad, LA, Norway, Paraguay, Monterey, Singapore, Ecuador, Bangalore, Baltimore. These are places in the world. High on a mountain, down on the plain, deep in the jungle, in the middle of the rain. Children laugh and children play. Everywhere, every day. 'Cause these are places in the world.
The guest of honor for the occasion, Dr. Roger Kington, along with the Chief Operating Officer and President, City Montessori School, Professor Geeta Gandhi Kington, unveiled the logo and declared the event open. The logo was switched on, marking the beginning of a learning, sharing, and together harmonizing to bring about peace in the world and make a world a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. Speaking on the occasion, the chief guest, Dr. Roger Kington, said,
"And what a problem there is in the world today of the rapidly changing environment. And in fact, there was evidence of that today. Just earlier on today, I was looking, as I usually look once a day, just to look at the international news. And on the BBC News website, there was an item just today saying how the Arctic ice, the ice cap that covers the North Pole, this year is at an unprecedented depletion. There is much less ice there than there has ever been. And they were predicting that maybe within 20 or 30 years, there'll come a time when, in the summer, the entire ice cap over the North Pole will have melted, will have disappeared. Now, this may have, it was saying in the article, it may have a major effect on, first of all, the further warming of the sea when it is exposed directly to sunlight. It isn't being, the sunlight isn't being reflected off the white ice, but it may also change the currents in the ocean. And if the currents in the ocean change markedly over the Arctic Sea, then that could have major effects within one season on the climate in the Northern Hemisphere. And it doesn't require much change for changes in the currents. For instance, the Gulf Stream that keeps Europe nice and temperate. It doesn't need for that to move very much further north or further south for there to be a complete change of climate that affects literally billions of people. And if you just think about what the effect of a failed monsoon would be, or even catastrophic floods here in India, well, that kind of thing could be coming again and much, much more frequently. And that's happening now. This is the evidence that we've had today. As I say, this is just today I read this new news that they've got satellite pictures of the ice cap. It has never been noticed to be so thin as it is now. So, what is the cause of all this problem? It is perfectly clear that there is a very strong correlation with human activity on Earth. Earth's human population has never been higher. The human population's use of energy and production of so-called greenhouse gases, carbon dioxide principally, has never been greater. And all these things are being measured in the atmosphere, and they are finding that the rate at which the concentration of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is increasing like anything, steadily increasing and increasing. And there is this effect called the greenhouse effect that essentially means that because there's more carbon dioxide in the air from our burning and from our breathing, our respiration, but mainly from burning fossil fuels, so coal, oil, gas, that kind of thing, that heats up the atmosphere, makes the Earth even warmer. All changing the climate. It is human activity, not anything else.
Come, join this movement and make Globe, our home, a better place to be in for a very long time to come.
Lucknow Public College
The students of CMS Mahanagar Campus 3 enthralled the audience with educative cultural program. So, sit back and enjoy.
She looks like a sugar in the plum, plum, plum. She looks like a sugar in the plum. Show me your motion, tra la 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 la. Papa, show me your motion, tra la 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 la. Show me your motion, tra la 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 la. She looks like a sugar in the plum. Take a around. Hey, I'm going to the market. I'm going to the fair to see my senorita with stars on her head. Hey, shaky, 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 I'm shaking all around, shaking like a milkshake and twinkle, twinkle round. Ishwar chalata mere jeevan ki gaadi, Ishwar chalata mere jeevan ki gaadi. Aquí mamá, te quiero ver vibrar, tu cuerpo acariciar. Bájalo, pásalo, si te no me déjalo aquí mamá, te quiero ver vibrar, tu cuerpo acariciar. Yo quiero una noche contigo mamá.
Uramurgam pashem luzi Eurico saudar. Uramurgam pashem luzi Eurico saudar. Padre sentinela melos de la parte boca.
We all gotta give, yes, then a gift to make a change. Send it on. Just wanna give you another. Be a part, reach your heart. Star in the sky, humne towards Maya re. Aansuon ka churan chapa ke humne dakor mara re. Gungunna re, gungunna re, gungunna ye gana re. Gungunna re, gungunna re, gungunna ye gana re.
Connected to the box of powerhouse, light comes to the bulb. Similarly, connected with the box of holy books of God's progressive revelation, a child becomes rational, wise, godly, good, and total quality person. Prayer is that connect with the God, that thy name is my healing, and remembrance of thee is my remedy. It refreshes and gladdens my spirit, purify my heart, and illumine my mind. Science offers the best answers to the meaning of life. Science offers one the privilege before we die of understanding why you were ever born in the first place. Also, science without religion is lame. Religion without science is blind. Founder manager of City Montessori School and great educationist Dr. Jagdish Gandhi through his speech spoke on the three realities of man, being material, human and divine, and how today's education should cater to all these realities.
Order that he gave us, that you do not go to the jungles, because I cannot live without you for 14 years. What to say 14 years? I cannot live without you for 14 months or 14 days or 14 hours or 14 minutes or 14 seconds. Even 1 second I cannot live without you. You are my son and I love you so much that I cannot live without you. There were two instructions. The previous instruction was to fulfill the vow that I have given to your mother. And your mother has asked for 14 years of exile, go to the jungles, and you have to go out of this home. And another instruction was not to go. Ram had to decide which instruction to follow. Just 2 minutes back, my father gave me instructions to go. And 2 minutes later he says, don't go. Now should I go or should I not go? Should I follow the instruction of my father which he had given previously, or should I follow the instruction that is given later on? That was the question. Now this is the point which you have to decide. This is called education. This is called wisdom. At this stage, you become wiser. You have a rational mind. You can rationalize what is right, what is wrong, what is to be done, what is not to be done. Ram was very young, like you. He was very young. He was of your age. And in those days, such a big question arose before him that father gave 2 kinds of instructions. You will meet so many situations in which you have to decide, take a decision. You have to make a choice. You have to choose an option. You have to make a judgment. So your judgment, your decision, your choices, your options will either make you successful or unsuccessful.
Environmental law is a complex and interlocking body of international treaties, statutes, regulations, and common law or national legislation that operates to regulate the interaction of humanity and the natural environment towards the purpose of reducing the impacts of human activity. Here, the views of our senior contestants on the topic laws related to environment should be fixed for all nations in the contest GeoTalk.
Critics believe that these laws are simply uncritically copied from the environmental statuses of developed nations. So, don't you think that such ill-conceived laws will simply be unproductive? Moreover, these laws are not self-executing. They cannot function in the absence of effective implementation, which in turn requires extensive and expensive administrative capacities, detailed regulatory mandates, strong government commitments, and popular supports.
A common assumption is that the extent we contribute to a problem. I believe that because my actions are so marginal, I am not at all responsible. This, I believe, is not correct. I will argue that an individual should not be held responsible in the backward-looking sense. This means that she should not be blamed for performing the less environmental-friendly action instead of more when she lacked the reasonable alternatives. The principle of common but differentiated responsibility was developed to differentiate between countries in international environmental law.
What do you mean by the principle of intra-generation equities?
Yeah, thank you for the question. I would like to say intra-generational equity. The resources which a country is generating, it depends. Suppose the developed countries are there. If my competitors may say that the developing countries don't have the technology, they don't have this, so how will they develop if the laws are fixed? So I mean to say that the countries help on this principle to share technology and capacity building for the poor nations. They help them so that they can be on the path of sustainable development.
A little girl at the museum with her mother asks, "What's that little green thing kept in the pot with so much security around?" Her mother replies, "It's a plant, my child. When we were of your age, we had loads of them growing around us." The girl just couldn't believe that the earth could have been so much green once. I, Parush Srivastav, stand here feeling ashamed to state that this will turn out to be a reality one day. The only way out is to fix the environmental laws for all nations. If the earth belongs to all, it should be cared and nurtured by all. We all fight for getting equal rights, so why not for equal duties towards the earth?
We are saying that we need to work together to solve this problem. But what about the developed countries like USA who are polluting more and the main cause for the condition of the earth today? What do you have to say about that?
I would just like, first of all, thank you so much for the question. But I would like to state that the environmental law should be fixed for all the nations. And if USA is causing more pollution, the laws will be fixed. It will have to pay whatever it has to pay. And the developing nations, a time will come when they will also become developed. They will also produce the same amount of pollution. So the environmental law should be strict for all the nations, same for all.
Thank you. Next question.
I'm strongly against the idea of a fixed environmental law for all the nations. Let me begin categorically. Environmental laws are nothing but laws that put a cap on how much carbon a nation should be allowed to emit in the air. From Rio de Janeiro to Kyoto to Copenhagen, the whole world is fighting over one question. Who should emit? How much? I'm sure my worthy opponents would say, environment does not know national barriers, so it's everyone's responsibility. All right, friends, I agree. But responsibility is also a relative term. Hold on. Let me explain through statistics. If you look at the total carbon emission chart since the year 1950, do you know who is the main culprit? Developed nations, with just 19% of the total population, have caused 73% of the total damage, while the rest 81% of the population could collectively contribute merely 27% damage. And today, all of a sudden, you ask me to put an India, which is at number 124 in the carbon emission chart, to be put at the same level as the US, that smiles smugly at number 2. Greenhouse gases emission, my friends, could be a luxury for the rich nations. But for developing nations, it's survival. How can you frame fixed laws for all the countries?
Today, we stand here in the 21st century, and when we talk about the financial support required to combat environmental degradation, don't you think the nations have enough to combat the international environmental problems that the developed countries are doing? They already have so much. They can contribute, and it's not always that people require so much to do something for the environment. I don't think so.
Okay, the developing countries are doing their bit, but the question is who should do how much? The developed nations are more responsible for it. If you look at the polluters pay principle, it states that one who has polluted more should pay more. One who has sinned more should pay more. Then why should the developing country pay for the rest of the 73% which they have not caused?
A microbial fuel cell is a device that converts chemical energy into electrical energy by the catalytic reaction of microorganisms. The idea of using microbial cells in an attempt to produce electricity was first conceived at the turn of the 19th century. The senior students from the Geotech contest designed a web-based presentation to lucidly explain the mechanism of microbial fuel cell. Here is one presentation. global warming is a serious threat to the environment. But our creative junior students, through the GeoTunes contest, could make us see the impending threat through the drawing or painting, intending for satire, caricature, or humor. In the meanwhile, senior students attempted the preliminary round for quizzing. The questions were based on varied subjects like the current affairs, geography, science, social science, etc. Model display is a very creative round that involves an intricate harmony of an idea and dexterity of hands to create a complete piece of work. Watch on our industrious junior creating models on the topic application of solar energy. In this era of technology and mass production, how can the cottage industry coexist with the modern era? Here are some innovative collage collection, Create Your Taste by the seniors. Enjoy.